I wake up and count my blessings. No more worries, no more stressing. With every loss there comes a lesson. Lord, all I'm asking is protection. I wake up and count my blessings.
Greetings, Massive. Translation, hello everyone, and welcome to Conversations with me, a random nobody. Well, here we are 1 week after the Thanksgiving holiday, and hopefully you're like me and you didn't eat too much this Thanksgiving. Normally in years prior, I tend to put on about 10 to 15 pounds from Halloween up until New Year's Day. So this year I was kind of determined not to let that happen, and I had a better hold on what I actually ate. I still enjoyed every bit of the food, but I just didn't eat it as many days after Thanksgiving. So last year I was eating leftovers up until like a week later, but this year I kind of cut it off after Saturday/Sunday. So if you're like me and you did well, kudos to you. However, if you ate a little bit too much, don't be too hard on yourself. Just try to get some movement in, ride a bike, take a walk, do something, but don't stress out about it too much. All right, so let's just get right into this week's episode. Now, today, there are a couple of things that I'm going to talk about, and my title is going to go between to twerk or not to twerk. That is the question. Or girl code. Is there a girl code? Something to do with girl code. I haven't decided which title will suit this episode best. I want to see where it kind of goes, and then I'll label it at the end. But before I start, as always, many thanks to all of my listeners. I am so grateful and thankful for all the support that you show me. It means the world to me, and it just helps me to keep going and to keep putting out content that's relatable and also interesting. So thank you again for listening. Your support means everything to me. And to show how grateful and appreciative I am, I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway during the holiday season, and I'll be sharing that information via my email list. So if you have not subscribed to my email list yet, please head over to www.conversationswitharandomnobody.com and subscribe to my email list, and you'll get all the information you need there. Before we jump into the episode, I did want to ask you guys to do me a huge favor. I had the opportunity of being a guest on 2 podcasts this week, and I really need you guys to show me some support as well as the 2 podcasts that I was on. So the first podcast is called Random Conversations with Elizabeth. And this podcast is utterly amazing. And I'm not saying that just because. Now, Elizabeth said that she came across my podcast by randomly searching on Spotify one day, and I popped up and she couldn't believe how similar we were. And when I mean, our podcast is pretty much named the same thing. But after talking with Elizabeth, it was just amazing. Like, we're both Jamaicans, we're both natural, we're both a little weird. And I mean, the similarities just go on. And I really appreciated Elizabeth for reaching out to me to be on her podcast, because it was my first time actually doing an Instagram Live. And it was a good experience for me. I enjoyed her questions, and I just really appreciated the vibe that we had. So please support me and head over to Random Conversations with Elizabeth and check out her episode with me, a random nobody. The second show I was on was my girl Jade. She hosts The Unfiltered by Jade. And this young lady is so amazing. And I hate to keep using the word amazing, but she really is. And her and I had a discussion, or a conversation really, about getting divorced, being divorced, the process, life after divorce, life during divorce, all talks divorce. And I was able to really open up about my divorce because I'd never really spoke about it with anyone before. So I was very candid and vulnerable during the conversation because I truly believe that other women that may experience something that I've experienced might feel stuck, might feel like they, will not be successful if they choose to divorce. So I tell my story not for any accolades of my own, but to just encourage other people to follow their heart and to trust themselves. So check out that episode on The Unfiltered by Jade, and I'm going to add the links to both of these shows in the show notes, as well as on Instagram. I've reposted, so you can just go there, go to their pages and find the episode as well. So I would truly appreciate your support, and thank you in advance. To start this episode off, I wanted to talk about some of the headlines that I've seen this week. Some interesting, some sad, and some that make you go, Things that make you go, Sorry. Now, this first story that I'm going to share with you guys is pretty sad. A mom in Florida was actually at the burial service for her son, who was recently killed by gun violence. And she was actually shot in the leg during the service. Now, after I read the article, it said that it was an accident and the gun belonged to a 16-year-old that was actually attending the funeral. I have a couple of questions. One being, why does a 16-year-old have a gun? And more importantly, why was a 16-year-old fiddling with a firearm during a funeral service? So I'm not sure the depth of this story, but the headline caught my eye, and I couldn't imagine being at a funeral service for my child and then I end up getting shot at the same time. That's just weird. So prayers go out to them in Florida, and hopefully everything will work out. Now, this story is a little personal for me because I'm just over it right now. McDonald's. So they plan on giving out 10,000 free McRib sandwiches to fans that shave. So No Shave November's over. So now they want you to shave and post a picture and tag them on social media. Okay, fine. I never had a McRib, not McGriddle, because I have had one of those, but I've never had a McRib before. I never plan on having one. My thing is, can we get a veggie burger McDonald's? I mean, come on. You can give out 10,000 McRibs, but you can't figure out how to hook up with Impossible or Beyond Burger and get one on the menu? Come on now. I take my kids to McDonald's every so often, and sometimes I want to get more than French fries. I'm definitely not getting a salad. And I know that the French fries are fried in I think they actually fry them in peanut oil, hopefully, because I don't do the meat thing. So I'm hoping that they don't actually use animal fat to fry their French fries, because that'll be a whole other episode. Anyway, McDonald's, I'm going to need you to step up and get on the same level as Burger King, because I need a new veggie burger. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with, I forget his name. However, this gospel singer went viral because he put on his Instagram story a video of him kissing his boyfriend. You can tell on the video that the video was only shared with close friends. However, someone decided to screenshot it and they let it loose. So everyone knows that this young man is gay. Now, I've never heard of him before, but when I looked at his page, I searched his name on a hashtag, and a video from 2018 came up. And as I was watching the video, my gaydar, it shot off the meter. He was giving off a very high gaydar vibe. So to me, finding out that he is gay wasn't really that surprising. And I only saw him 3 seconds in a video. So for people that are so shocked about it, I don't understand why, because I could tell in 5 seconds. In 5 seconds. And there's nothing wrong with that. I totally support this young man and am so happy to see that there are so many others supporting him as well. I believe that in this day and age, people need to love and embrace and be happy and be true to who they are, because living a lie will get you nowhere. This young man probably tried to cover it and hide it and was living in the dark, but what happens in the dark comes to light. So it's better to just live in your truth no matter what people say, because people are always always going to talk about you no matter what you're doing. You could be doing the best in your life. You could be doing the worst in your life. They're always going to find something to say. So it's important that you're true to yourself and F the haters. Yeah, I said it. This next headline caught my attention mainly because I'm a book lover. I love reading. I enjoy reading actual books or listening to books on Audible. Don't judge me. They both have the same effect. Anyway, so in Turkey, the garbage collectors there have actually opened a library with all of the books that citizens discard. They have up to 25,000 books in this library. And at first, it was just for their use. Like during their breaks, they'll go into the library and read a couple books. But now that they have 25,000 books, they've actually opened it up to the public. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea. I'd love to actually visit that one day. All right, so this is my final headline for this episode, and I kind of saved the best for last because with this one, I think I might actually need to call in some help because I actually do want to have a conversation about this topic. And I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of it already. So a restaurant owner in Dallas had a big conniption about these women twerking in his restaurant. And I'm laughing only because, the videos that I saw, he came out like he, was somebody's dad and was reprimanding these women, like, stop twerking or get the hell out of my restaurant. So I have a couple different feelings about this topic. So I'm actually going to call one of my girlfriends and see what she has to say. So let's get Di on the phone. Hey, girl.
What's up? What's up?
All right. So were you able to look over the article, watch any of the videos that were out about this restaurant owner in Dallas reprimanding his female customers for twerking on his furniture?
I looked at it. Well, I didn't look at any videos, but I did read the article.
All right. So what did you think? Because I got a lot to say about this one.
I thought, some people don't have no home training. I don't know. I see fault on both sides.
Okay. So what do you mean?
Well, okay. Now the restaurant owner, said he wanted a place where, a nice place where Black people could come. Mm-hmm. And, I commend him for that. That was great. But, what type of restaurant was this? I mean, is it a family restaurant? Because my thing is, I don't want to go to a restaurant and sit down and be eating a nice meal and I'm hearing twerk music. I don't want to hear anything about shaking your booty and all of this. I mean, if you go ahead and you play that type of music, I mean, what do you expect?
That's true.
Some people just don't have no home training.
That's true, because I was also listening to a radio show this morning and they were saying that it was the DJ's fault. But I mean, to what you're saying, I guess I could see it like maybe if the DJ wasn't playing that type of music, then these women wouldn't be dancing. But at the same time, you're at a restaurant.
Exactly. So there's a place and a time for everything. They didn't see a dance floor. So why jump up and start dancing?
Right.
I mean, certain songs is going to get people moving.
Right.
And if that's a restaurant, a family restaurant, that's just certain music you don't need to be playing.
Yeah.
I mean, what type of element was he trying to bring into this restaurant? He said it's supposed to be a nice place for people to go. So if you want it to be a nice place for people to go, keep it nice. There are all types of music you can play. You don't need to play a shake your butt, type song for people to get up and start shaking that butt.
That's true, because the way he came out in one of the videos, he came out like he was somebody's dad. Like these ladies were, getting in trouble. So he was just like, like you said, I created this establishment for my people, for the culture. So they were saying that he should have went to the DJ and asked him to change the music.
He should have let the DJ know the type of music that he wanted played beforehand in his establishment, and then he wouldn't have had that problem.
These women were standing on the tables.
Now, okay. Come on now. When you are 1 year old, and you try to crawl up on tables, you're corrected.
That's so true.
There is no reason in the world that I can see for anybody to be standing on anybody's tables.
Right.
I mean, that's just wrong. No matter what type of music they were playing, even if it was a club where where they want you to get up and enjoy yourself, you're still not standing on top of tables. You shouldn't be. Some are, but you shouldn't be.
I agree. I totally agree. Like, there's a time and a place. And, like you said, there was no dance floor. So why, and now with the owner, people were getting on him because of the language that he used. He was like, get the F out. I don't need your money, blah, blah, blah. What do you think about that? Do you think he could have said it in a different way? Or do you feel like he tried and they didn't listen? So how do you feel about that part?
See, well, I don't know what he said the first 2 or 3 times, but there's a way to say things.
Right.
And, sometimes, if you come out and you're cursing or whatever, that's just going to have people act a certain way. So you're going to, give what you get. So, I mean, you just have to, just think of a better way to say things, because I wouldn't have been out there twerking, dancing on tables, but had
you
he
sure
came
about that?
Me,
you
but had he, if he came to me, cursing and things, I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would have got some back.
Right.
So, it's a way to say things to people.
I agree with that. But at the same time, I'm just like, was he fed up? Because he basically told them, get the F out. I don't need your money. So I feel like he was so frustrated and maybe so hurt because you mentioned that he created this restaurant because he wanted a place for his people to go. And he also mentioned in one of the videos that I saw, he said he created it because he wanted to create a culture where Black women were respected. So to see Black women acting like that maybe made him more upset because of the purpose behind his erecting the restaurant.
Well, if that's the case, he should have made sure that the type of music that was played in his establishment was music, respectful music. It shouldn't have been music saying shake your, whatever. So that's him. And I'm on his side. I'm on his side, but I'm just saying he's not without fault because he should have everything covered. The music, right. The atmosphere. This is your place and you want to go ahead and you want to set the stage from the beginning. So if you don't want that twerking and all of that in your restaurant, you make sure that type of music isn't played and, just have the atmosphere so that, when people come in, they'll know that, hey, we're not standing on any tables in this place right here.
I'm
we're
sorry.
Not shaking our...
I'm laughing because, damn, isn't that common knowledge?
It should be. It should be. But some people just don't have, common sense. So some people like to be seen.
Oh, my God.
Some people like to be seen. So
I don't know, because if God would have blessed me with a butt, maybe I'll be twerking too. I don't know. But this story really, it made me think because it was like so many different ways you could look at it. So I needed a little extra help. So thank you so much for joining me last minute. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
Well, there you have it, guys. My thoughts, Di's thoughts, and basically the owner should have known what type of music he wanted to be played at his restaurant, but also those ladies should have known better. And I'd love to know what you actually think about this situation. Hit me up on Instagram or send me an email, whatever you prefer. All right, now let's talk about girl code since we have a little time left over. What is girl code? Is it highly revered as much as guy code is? To be honest, I don't think it is. I don't think we as women even realize that there is a girl code. And if we do know it, I don't think we abide by it. I think something important to note is that girl code applies to friends and friendship, not acquaintances. And I think that's where I'm getting it wrong, because I feel like women should have enough respect for one another where we do not entertain the men that our friends have talked to previously when they try to come at us. I believe that if you have a friend or an acquaintance and their ex comes up to you and says, oh, I'd like to take you out, I'd like to, get to know you more, you should basically fund them off. And fund them off means get out of my face. Because if you talk to my friend, why do you think I want to talk to you? However, I've learned that some women don't even care about that. Now, you guys know that, I sometimes get on these dating sites and look for the love of my life. Okay, I'm kidding. But anyway, I was on one day and I was actually approached by someone's husband. And I was so taken aback, like, dude, seriously? So I responded to him like, you look very familiar. Aren't you so-and-so's husband? Yeah, I haven't heard from him since. And I didn't expect to, because that was just so awkward for me. And even though I didn't tell my friend, really acquaintance, that her husband reached out to me, I still let him know that it was not cool. Now, talking to my ladies out there, if a friend of yours, ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, tries to talk to you or holler at you, what are you going to do? Are you going to entertain the conversation knowing good and well you shouldn't be talking to him? Or are you going to fund him off? Meaning, boy, get out my face. Don't do it. Please don't do it, sir. Unfortunately, everyone doesn't think like me, and there are some people out there that just don't give a F. And that's fine, because everyone is entitled to do, what they're going to do or what they want to do. However, for me, I just think that out of respect for each other as women, that you would just certain people are off limits. Like, how do you even say hi to people after that? Knowing that this person entertained someone that you used to talk to, and now you're in their company and it's like, hi, how are you? Like, nah, I don't even care how you doing. Like, girl, why didn't you fund him off? Why didn't you say not interested or blah, blah, blah? It's just like, ugh. Well, if you couldn't tell by now, I have actually been a victim of this sort of violation of girl code. And it's just so weird and annoying, kind of, because it's like, why would you even give him the time of day, girl? Like, what? Like, girl, like, no, like, right? But it happened, and it's just, I don't know. It's like, I'm not upset with them, but it's also like, where does your loyalty lie? Well, actually, as I think about it, like I said earlier, I guess girl code doesn't apply to doesn't apply to acquaintances, but more so friends. Because if I have a close friend and her ex or, ex-boyfriend or ex-husband try to holler at me, I'm definitely going to be like, bruh, como tá me fias? However, if an acquaintance that I know and their ex hollered at me, I still wouldn't entertain it. I mean, I guess it just depends on the person, guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm just built differently, where I just see certain people as being out of bounds. Certain people you just don't cross that line with. And just remember, when you are approached by someone's ex, they are that person's ex for a reason. So you probably don't want them anyway. It's like, I'm just kidding. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Well, in this case, one woman's trash is another woman's treasure. I'd love to know your stance on girl code. So after listening to this episode, head over to my Instagram page and leave me a comment as to what you felt about this episode. Do you agree with me? You don't agree with me? No one's off limits? Who's off limits? Let me know what you think. I'm really interested. And maybe if you want to continue this conversation, we can do so. So drop me a line on Instagram, or you can email me if you want to stay private, and let's see what happens from there. Well, guys, I've said all that I had to say about girl code, so I'm done. But before I go, I did want to just remind you to please check out those 2 podcasts that I mentioned earlier. Random Conversations with Elizabeth and The Unfiltered by Jade. I would really appreciate it if you guys listened to the episode and left a comment to let them know that Random sent you. Random Nobody. And that's nobody with a K. I need to get that on a shirt. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Until next week, walk good. Translation, be safe. I wake up and count my blessings. Hey.
Started from the bottom, look where we end up, on top like Pac. All eyes on us, blessings. Count my blessings. No more worries, no more stressing. No more stressing. With every loss there comes a lesson. Lord, all I'm asking is protection. Count my blessings. I wake up and count my blessings.